Any death of this sort is a tragedy. Any shooting involving multiple victims is a tragedy. There is something particularly heartbreaking about a death happening in a place in which we seek solace and we seek peace, in a place of worship. Mother Emanuel is, in fact, more than a church. This is a place of worship that was founded by African Americans seeking liberty. This is a church that was burned to the ground because its worshipers worked to end slavery. We don't have all the facts, but we do know that, once again, innocent people were killed in part because someone who wanted to inflict harm had no trouble getting their hands on a gun. Now is the time for mourning and for healing. But let's be clear. At some point, we as a country will have to reckon with the fact that this type of mass violence does not happen in other advanced countries. It doesn't happen in other places with this kind of frequency. And it is in our power to do something about it.
This is by far one of the most horrendous acts that I've ever seen. To walk into a church and kill 9 people in a place that should be sacred is a new low in hate and atrocities in this country. And none of us are safe if we cannot go to a church for Bible study. Race is still an issue in this country. Hate is an even more deadly issue. We need to start coming to terms with it. Thank you.
I want to take a moment to address the heartbreaking and deeply tragic events that occurred at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina last evening. This is a crime that has reached into the heart of that community. The Department of Justice has opened a hate crime investigation into this shooting incident. Now, as we move forward in this matter, my thoughts and prayers, and those of our entire law enforcement community here at the Department of Justice and around the country, are with the families and loved ones of the victims in Charleston. Even as we struggle to comprehend this heartbreaking event, I want everyone in Charleston and everyone who has been affected by this tragedy to know that we will do everything in our power to help heal this community and make it whole again.
Mr. President.
Democratic leader.
Think about this. The sanctity of a house of worship was violated as a gunman opened fire at a historically black Emmanuel AME church in Charleston, South Carolina. We know now at least 9 people are dead. Others, of course, hurt. I don't know how else to describe it. This individual was like a sheep in wolf's clothing. He sat among the congregation for a substantial amount of time before he pulled out a weapon and started firing at people. The thought of people who were in a house of worship being gunned down as they gathered to pray is heart-wrenching, devastating, and is the ultimate act of cowardice and hatred. As our good chaplain said, our hearts go out to the families and friends of the people who are gunned down in that church. It's hard for me to comprehend anything so awful. So on behalf of the Senate family, we send our support, our sympathy to the Charleston law enforcement as they try to capture this murderer. I hope the perpetrator will be swiftly apprehended and brought to justice.
He's a white male. All right, man, we're going to do it. Approximately 21 years of age, slender, small build, wearing a gray sweatshirt, possibly hoodie,